10 minutes with Berik Zhangirbayev. My treatment comes over without any psycho-emotional preparation, hypnotic action, or other such things. It can be proved by the fact that when I'm treating a patient, I never prepare them in advance and never impress anything upon them. It is enough for me just to touch them. Their sick organs and their treatment shall take its course independently of me and the patient. After 13 years of my practice, I've got used to the results of my work because it really is a fantastic and mysterious phenomenon, even for me. Natasha, my sister-in-law, told me about Berik. He had treated her. She was diagnosed with certain cystic lesions in her thyroid. First she was treated against bronchioli, but then it was getting worse. Metabolic disorders had appeared on her body. Finally, she was sent to a surgeon who said that it was necessary to operate and it could asphyxiate any time, and simultaneously the surgeon did not give any guarantees if she would live a week or a year after the surgical intervention. She didn't have a choice and she went to Berik. When I heard about Berik from her and her brother, I was very skeptical and I said to them, would it really help? But they told me they didn't have a choice. She might only live 1 week. It's better to look for a treatment and to try it. That's why she went to Berik. She passed a course of 10 sessions. She felt much better after that. Finally, she recovered from her disease completely. In 1 year after the treatment, she is completely healthy. When she made a sonogram image after Berik's treatment, the physician could not believe it. He said, "Is it really your sonogram image?"
Та же женщина и делала УЗИ, она не поверила результатам, говорит, разве это твой снимок? У сына у моего с детства диатез начался еще в 2 месяца.
My son has a skin condition. It started to disturb him when he was only 2 months old. Later, the condition transformed into another form, dermatitis and neurodermatitis. Now, my son is 12. All his life he has had this disease. Rashes on his skin, hands and face. For 1 year there were a lot of breakouts on his face and he had to miss school. There were awful rashes around his eyes. We tried to treat the disease with herbs and we went to an allergiodermia center. He was given a diet which he followed from 3 to 6 years old. And he follows the diet even now. But there were no visible results and we came to Berik. Kostya has had 7 sessions. Now it is noticeable that his face has become practically clear and his left hand as well. He talks about it all the time. A child never dreams up any visible results. He told me, "Mummy, my left hand is clean. Only my right hand is a little bit of a rash."
Левая рука тоже уже довольно чистая. Он сам говорит, вот ребенок, он бы там не стал придумывать каких-то как будто бы заметных результатов. Он сам мне говорит, мама, левая рука уже чистая, вот немного на правой осталось.
Right after the 3rd session, I noticed that I become more alert. I've felt considerable improvement. Now I've had already the 7th session and I have practically no rashes on my hands.
Я сам часто удивляюсь, особенно современной медицине.
I'm often astonished myself at modern medicine when physicians say that neurodermatitis and psoriasis are associated with internal organs. They say it, but they always start to treat the skin like dermatologists. and they often use many creams, antibiotics, and hormonal drugs. Many of my patients who have such kind of diseases are surprised at me because I do not control how much of their skin is covered by sores. I try to treat them internally, always, and the sores disappear because of it. I do not care how many sores you have on your skin. It's not important for me.
Только внутренние органы, а за счет этого потом проходят эти болячки, а в каком количестве эти болячки, мне это не самое главное.
For almost 12 years, I lived with the disease under the awful name psoriasis. One day I read an article in a popular weekly journal about Berik's unique power. I read it very diligently and decided to visit this man. I called him immediately, but I could be seen by him only after 2 months. I had 10 recovery sessions. I'd like to bring your attention to the fact that earlier my body was one big non-healing wound for me. At the beginning of the treatment, Berik told me that it is necessary to follow a strict diet if I want to achieve positive results. After 2 months, I can declare with joy that my body, especially my skin, has become entirely different. My sleep is getting better. Earlier, it was a big problem for me. One interesting fact, earlier I weighed 86 kilos, before the treatment that is. Now, my weight is 70 kilos. People do not recognize me. Many women ask me for a recipe to lose weight. So, you can make your own conclusions. Now I feel very good and I am in excellent health.
Действительно, результаты в основном у 90% пациентов происходит.
Indeed, 90% of patients have results after a short time of treatment. For example, I've treated a patient today, and tomorrow he will see the results. Many patients with cardiac diseases feel how their bodies are recovering right from the first day. Recently, I was visited by a woman. She had been operated 3 times on her spine. She had very severe pains in the lumbar region of her spine. Beside these pains, she had severe breathlessness, a constant lack of oxygen. Yesterday I started to treat her, and the next day I saw the following results. No pain in the lumbus, and the long-term breathlessness had disappeared.
Вчера, когда первый день я ее полечил, и на следующий день я увидел такие результаты. Это, конечно, у нее боли поясницы исчезли, и сердце уже такой одышки, которая уже несколько лет у нее есть, она за один день даже исчезла.
С детства мне поставили диагноз нейродермит. Впоследствии он перешел в хронический. Я болею уже более 10 лет.
In my childhood, I was diagnosed with neurodermatitis. Later, it transformed into a chronic form. Now, I've been ill with this disease for more than 10 years. I had to take many tablets, hormonal drugs, that were actually useless over the years. It means when I stopped taking them, I faced a recurrence of the disease. One day, my father read a newspaper article about Berik. We decided to approach him with the great hope. During Berik's treatment, I felt some processes were happening in my body, like a warm wave. As the sessions increased in number, the warmth in my body was getting bigger and hotter. The state of my skin was getting considerably better. Earlier, I had suffered from eating food. The red spots appeared on my body after eating. Now I'm completely free from this trouble. No spots at all on my body. I'm very glad that I visited you. I consider it the greatest gift of my life.
Чем больше даю результатов, я чувствую всегда прилив силы, еще больше.
The more I give the results, the more I feel the inflow of forces into me. If I can call it work, then it is the work of my soul, and it comes from there.
И оно исходит от души.